We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Today I have the greatest guest, and I'm so happy to have him. Eric Ty, everybody, Eruption. Say hello to the crowd.
Thanks, guys. And hey, first and foremost, I want to say and appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to be here on your live or in your content or here on YouTube or wherever we are being viewed, and also a big shout out to everyone that's watching Flex Lang Suntukan na this. All right.
That's awesome. Yeah, this will definitely be on the YouTube channel. We've been growing it a little more. Our first week, my first week of doing this, I actually got Dwayne on, and he was a great guest as well. So
yeah, Dwayne's awesome.
Yeah, great guy. Great guy. So when I first met you, you were actually on television. You were on Showtime, and that was the very first time I ever met you. Like, I didn't meet you, but I knew who you were, and everybody really, they seemed to love you. They talked about you, and they loved your energy, and you've kind of brought that with you throughout your entire career. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit? Give us like some insight. How did you get involved in show business in the first place? What brought you to the Philippines? And like, where are you from? And, you know, just kind of, can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Oh, no worries. I'll try and keep it as short as I can, because once we get started, but once a ball, starts rolling, it just turns into a freaking avalanche. But long story short, yeah, I was born in New Zealand, raised in Australia. I'm of Tongan Filipino descent, but more Tongan, more Polynesian. Those that don't know what Polynesian are like people from the South Pacific Ocean. So like from Hawaii, Tonga, Samoa, and whatnot. So just like The Rock, there you go. Think of The Rock. Yes. So we're the same, we're kalahi, you know what I mean? Type of thing. I served my mission here, just like good old Greg served a mission here in the early 2000s. And I never thought that I'll find myself coming back or returning. And a good 3 years later, after my mission of pursuing a career in Australia as a rugby player and working jobs in and out from security guard, dancer, forklift driver, factory work. I did it all. And I was trying to make ends meet. You know, when you're working overseas, you can't do this showbiz sort of stuff. This type of lifestyle isn't available to us. We really got to grind our butts to work like maybe at least a minimum of 2 to 3 jobs. And that's what I was doing for within those 3 years until I came back. I had a return ticket. I'm not sure what do you guys call that in America? Return ticket, meaning I have a ticket that enables me to return back to Australia.
Okay.
So I really had a plan to go back to Australia, come here for a vacation. And I spent my first month in Boracay, lived up life. And then until I met this one dude who said, hey, do you want to do a modeling commercial? And I was like, frick, I did a bit of extra work here and there in Australia, and they did play well. It was pretty good. But I said, hey, I'm here for another couple of weeks, so why don't I just audition? And because he said the audition is dancing. Hey, I love dancing, you know what I mean? I love dancing.
Yeah, you're great.
It's a part of a passion. And I was doing dancing for a living back in Australia, and then I landed the job. And it was an international commercial for Canon cameras. And we shot that commercial in Singapore. And they said, here, this is what we're going to be paying you. And I was like, wow. And that was it. That really solidified my stay in the Philippines. I never thought that I'll actually become a commercial model here in the Philippines, but that really set the pace. And then when I got back from Singapore after shooting that, boom, here's a check, cashed it, and then freaking lived life even more. And then I went to another audition and I landed that as well. And tuloy-tuloy yun eh. Until I met a guy named Andrew Wolf, who got me involved with rugby here in the Philippines. And no one knows what rugby is here is in the Philippines. No one even knew that we had a team. So I played for the national team, the Philippine Volcanoes, and that's when the showbiz ball started rolling, where we got recognition, when we got second place, got gold. We got gold in the SEA Games, and then we got silver place in a very, very high tournament in Asia, which is the Asian Games type of thing, Asian 7 Games, and we got silver medal. And then I was introduced to Vice Ganda for a service project. And you know how we do, here in service projects, we're willing to give a helping hand whenever needed. And I was able to do one, and that's where I met Vice. And then Vice said, why don't you come maybe with your team to Showtime? Just a one-off, or gusto mo maging jurado or something like that.
Yeah.
And I said, freaking hell, why not? Yeah. And then me and Chris Everingham went on Showtime as a one-off jurado lang, bilang Philippine Volcanoes. Wala pang eruption yan. No eruption yet. Yeah. So, and then that's where really the avalanche really started, because we went on Showtime. We won Filipinos Got Talent type of thing on TV5. It's called Talentado Pinoy. We won that as well. The celebrity edition, me, Andrew Wolf, and Chris Everingham. And then we guested on GGGV Vice Ganda. And we just got so many guestings that the recognition as a Philippine volcano just went, skyrocketed through. And very, very thankful for that. I never thought of it, but 3 to 4 months later, I was introduced by Direct Bobet to come back on Showtime. And that's where it started. And that's where the birth of Eruption really, really started. If it wasn't for him, wala pang Eruption. There was no name, because he gave that to me.
Right. That's amazing.
There. So that's my little, 5-minute intro of where Eruption was basically born, or kung saan pinanganak, and that's it.
That must have been so exhilarating when all of this was happening. It must have felt like the greatest feeling in the world. Like you were making such good moves, and they were just propelling you forward. I must have felt
and that was over. That didn't happen overnight. That was over a 3 to 4 year span.
Yeah. So
that was basically everything in 4 years.
That's crazy, because you were, as you said, you were working multiple jobs, doing every type of job that you could, just really putting your nose to the grindstone, and then finally seeing those results. That must have just been so rewarding. That's cool. That's a cool story.
Man, just to say what you just said, rewarding. I felt like I was on cloud 9 on a blessed sense. You know what I mean? I felt really, really thankful.
Yeah.
And I knew that because at the same time as I was doing that, I never stopped saying my prayers. I never stopped giving up on my faith. And some things, happen out of luck, or Heavenly Father puts you in this position where you make a choice. It really boils down to you and your choice. We have this free agency. We have this freedom to really choose what we want to do. And I'm just glad that he was able to guide me at the same time. And I was able to make these right choices, even until now. You know what I mean? I'm very, very thankful to the bone that for Heavenly Father's, hand in everything I do. Now I wouldn't even think that I would have a family here, marry a Filipino, and have a kid. I got a little 2-year-old, such a,
cool.
His name is Legend, and this is just a legendary journey that I'll forever be thankful. Yeah.
It's almost like it culminated into Legend, and Legend was the peak of the sum of all your achievements. And
no, definitely. No. Yes.
It's such a fitting name. And I can tell already, I've been following your stuff on social media. I can already tell he's going to be awesome. He's going to be a kid.
Actually, you know what? He really did set the tone, man. Because he was almost a pandemic baby, like a COVID-19, because he came in just like, let's say 8 months before the lockdown, 9
Yeah,
months.
something like that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and obviously everyone that's going through a lot, including myself, millions and millions of people were affected by this, and obviously we had to stop work. I'm talking to you as well, Greg, that we all had to stop showbiz work for a bit,
Yep.
and that's sad. And a lot of the us artistas, celebrities had to really try and find ways to make ends meet during this pandemic, and it was really tough. It was very, very tough, and maybe tougher for those that are still trying to find their legs in this pandemic race. You know what I mean? Trying to their families getting sick, immediate families getting sick, friends, best friends, and all the people around the world that are heavily affected by this. Just more prayers, man, and try. And it's sad because pandemic, everyone's like saying, stay home. But how can you stay home when you got to work? How are you going to put food on the table, right?
We got to be out in the world. We have to figure out a way to balance everything. It's like a no-win situation for anybody. And I think everybody kind of has that, like we all kind of know that.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing being said, at this point in what you're doing now, even though it's pandemic times and everything, you've been really killing it with gaming. Like it's been ridiculous. And I've just been so impressed. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about where you started with gaming, and like at what point did you realize like I kind of want to stream? I want to do this seriously.
No, that's a really good question. A lot of people have been asking me that because, us coming from showbiz, right? No one knows our past. And my past was full of either sports outside, being an athlete, being an athlete at a high level, national level. But no one knew that I was I hate the word addicted, to use the word addicted to games, but no one knows, man. Like after my modeling, I'll go straight to the internet cafe and stay there for numerous of hours. Yeah. Like, and sometimes 24 hours.
Wow.
Without even going home. I would stay there overnight. And no one knew this. This was my first, that same time when I landed my first Canon commercial. I'm talking about that time, 2008. I was already in the internet cafes, and sometimes I would have to do white lies to my friends. Like he would say, "Oh, bro, let's go to the nightclubs. Let's have fun," And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm busy at work." But really, I was playing Dota. I was playing Dota, man. So hooked in the game that I had to do white lies to my friends, even girls. It's like, Eric, where are you? It's like, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm at a shoot. But really, I wasn't. I was just playing games. And in a way, I'm till this day, I'm kind of thankful. I feel bad because I did do some, create some white lies to my friends. Like I would prioritize more of my gaming than going out. Like I'm thinking like, why would I go out? What am I going to get? I'm just going to go out and dance and have fun. Yeah. But I'm having fun here in the internet. So
why do I have to go out to have fun when I'm enjoying myself right now?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm with my boys as well, my gamer friends. So I'm sure everybody, and I'm sure yourself, Greg, you have like friends in the sports world. You have friends in the showbiz world. You have friends like real friends, like brothers. You know what I mean? So I was attached to my brother type of friends that were also gamers, and that's so awesome. If you're with your boys, then you feel like, oh, nah, man, I'm good. I don't have to go out as long as we're chilling. But long story short, there was, I kept on playing games even in showtime. I would bring my laptop to work, which is a no good, guys. Ingat dyan. I would bring my laptop to work, and after my little segment, I'm playing games. I'm playing Heroes of New Earth and Dota behind stage.
How was
and
the
I remember. Yeah, as long as malakas ang Wi-Fi, okay na ka dun. Diba? And I remember Vice, was live, and I was supposed to be out there because they were calling my name, and then Vice was like going, "Nasaan si Eruption? Naku, backstage yan, nagdodota yan." Ah, shucks. So back then, the mentality of gaming, they would say, "Oh, nagsasayang ka ng oras." So everyone was giving it to me like, adi ka sa games, wala kang makukuha dyan. You ain't gonna get nothing from that. So in a way, I felt bad because it was actually the truth. I was getting nothing from them back then. Until rewind, I mean, let's fast forward another, 6 years, 5 years, and then I started to make money out of it. And it started from in 2015, correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember whether it was 2015 or 2016, I got my first job as a celebrity guest for a huge online gaming tournament. And this was for League of Legends.
Wow.
And guess where it was held, bro?
Where?
World Trade Center. A gaming event at the World. I thought it was like, at an internet cafe. But it was at the World Trade Center with 15,000 people. And I was like going, this blew my mind. I'm like going, there's 15,000 people here watching me play a game.
Yeah. They all are.
And Rona came. My wife came because we almost broke up on our first year of being together. We almost broke up numerous of times because of my addiction to games. Because I would make promises, we'll go to the movies or something, but then I'll always say, isa pa, like one more game, and it brought in some stress. It brought in some pain because we will be arguing. But that's why I really solidified my career in gaming was from that day when she saw it with her own eyes, that there were so many people that she even saw the potential in gaming.
It's like a sporting event.
Yeah, right. And then I was getting paid.
Yeah.
They paid me for that. And they were like, Rona was like, Siggy, okay, you can play games. You can play games. Because our deal was TTHS. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I can play games, and then 4 days sa kanya.
Okay.
MWF and Sunday for her. But on my days, I can play games. So that was the deal that we had to make. Otherwise, we'll be arguing more. We probably wouldn't even be together.
That's a great deal you made.
Yeah, I had to negotiate. And this is the first time I've ever done that in a relationship, that I negotiated the time to really prioritize my relationship, my work, and everything like that, and exercise, being a fit gamer at the same time. And that from that event onwards, I started getting more events.
Yeah.
But this time for hosting. So they knew I was a host. Now I would host all the big events. And if they need a celebrity leading me as a celebrity for their show matches, I would play at the same time. Sure. And that's what really put me on the map in the esports world, that I was kind of known in 2016, 2015 as a gamer. But I think in the streaming world, which started in 2019, I already started streaming a year before the pandemic. And don't ask me why, but the main reason why I kind of got into it was because Legend was born. And I wanted to be a stay-home dad. So what not better timing to kind of get into streaming? I can just work from home. And I'm just so glad, big shout out to Rumble Royale and Facebook Gaming, that they signed me up when Legend was actually born. I got a contract with check, with payments, monthly salary. And it started small. But I took it. I took the opportunity.
Yeah. And you've been able to sort of take what you love there and just build off of it. It's like the passion that never quit. And you learned how to deal with it in a healthy way. And then now you're using this passion to sort of work for you instead of slaving to the passion. I think that's,
no, you're right.
You know, it's kind of like the ultimate, like, you know what your calling is, kind of, and you're good at it, obviously. So where do you think your goals are, you know? Like you've done show business, you've been a professional athlete, now you're doing esports and streaming. Uh, you've got, you've got a lot of talents and there's a lot of stuff that you could do. What are you thinking about?
That's another good question. I'm kind of living life as I go at the same time. Um, carefully keeping in mind my family and how to provide for them. I have a goal is a long term. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to do Hollywood, and whether that will happen or not, I I will still try to do my best to stay active on social media because right now I think social media has a big huge influence of you even becoming known in that world, or your talent will be seen by, be scouted by someone in Hollywood or not. But that is my basically long-term goal. Because obviously my idol is The Rock,
Yeah.
and he's just an amazing human being, man. He's just inspired millions and millions all around the world, and including myself, hugely. Ever since I was a kid, I've always looked up to him, and yeah, it'll be cool to just meet him and hopefully work with him. And all I have to do is just stay active, have my short-term goals here in the Philippines intact, meaning me being a fit gamer. Fitness has always been a part of my life. Being an athlete, if I can keep myself in shape and by the saying, stay ready for whatever opportunity that lies ahead, I should be ready for it. So, and I feel that I am. And one way of seeing that is while I'm gaming or doing my esports or streaming, a blessed experience is being seen by endorsements or being seen by brands, and them when they believe in me and what I'm doing and brand endorsements. Man, I just through like I can't believe it, and I just find myself on my knees praying, like thankfully, like I sometimes ask why me, why pick me, you know what I mean? But I guess that's where the Lord wants us to be, and the fact that we're trying to stay grounded at the same time, to stay relevant on social media, I think is a huge help. And I know that streaming has put me there,
Yeah.
has put my best foot forward in that perspective to stay relevant and cool to these kids, and I still feel that as an influencer that we have a big huge impact on kids that watch us, especially as a live streamer daily. Try our best to set an example. We may not be the best example at times, but we try. On my streams, I refrain from swearing and all that sort of stuff, because I know there's little things we do, man. Kids will pick
Yeah.
that up,
They do.
and having my own kid myself, 2 years old, if I do something, he'll do it. And I'm like, man, this guy is two. Imagine everyone else that's watching. So,
Right.
so yeah, and I know that we, including yourself, Greg, we have huge power in our social media platforms, where we can echo what we believe in, echo what we echo and say what we desire. Whatever speaks our mind, we let it out there. And that is huge power.
Yeah.
That is power now, in our day and age. So let's try and use it wisely and in the right way, if when
Those,
can.
yeah, those are definitely wise words. It's good to know that like you recognize sort of the responsibility that comes with such a following, and it does take a certain type of person to be able to navigate this constantly changing, and almost it seems like it's changing exponentially, this world and this digital landscape that there's an
Agreed.
entire revolution that's going on. I think that the future of gaming, specifically in streaming, is quite bright. I do kind of want to ask, I've heard a lot of things from different celebrity friends and actors that are in the industry as well. And they've kind of expressed some apprehension about show business, right? And where things are going. So I'm kind of want to ask you, for people that are new to show business and or like just want to enter the industry, maybe they saw one of Dwayne's vlogs, now they want to go be an artista, you know. um, what sort of advice would you give these new people?
Oh shucks. Uh, you know what? There are a lot of people that out there that think that entering showbiz is easy, because it's really not. Um, it's one of the toughest things, and you can already count in your hands how many hundreds, not even the thousands, but hundreds of artistas that get regular work.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe less than 100 that get regular work. So you have a lot of competition. That I'm going to give you the cons first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have a lot of competition ahead. You know, and you have a lot of work yourself that you have to do to acquire or refine the skills, or to develop even. You know, for starters, develop the skills as an artista. Okay, let's get the fact that, okay, guapo ka o maganda ka, but what are your talents? You know what I mean? um I would say 1% out there can be so beautiful or so guapo and get a job just like that because of their looks. But when you get in there, trust me, it's dirty.
Yeah.
In a perspective where people will start talking crap about you, because they're gonna say something like maganda ka lang or guapo ka lang, walang talento. You know what I mean? They're gonna say stuff like that, and it's gonna hurt you. And this business that we get into as a celebrity, or nowadays influencers or social media influencers, that's tough, because it comes with a great responsibility, just as Greg said. And for you to recognize that is very, very important first. And if you're starting at a young age, try to learn more about patience, hard work, never giving up when someone tells you something negative. You persevere that. You keep going. You keep believing in yourself, even though the 99 out of the 100 don't believe in you. Hey, there's that one person that does. Might be your mom or your best friend. You still keep on, trudging through. You still keep on going and believing in what you think that you can achieve. All right, whether that's becoming an artista. That's why I'm giving you the cons first, and when you get there, it's still not done. The job ain't done. It's not even halfway done.
No.
You got to maintain it.
It's harder.
You might have a show, but ano mangyayari pag tapos na ang show? Anong gagawin mo? You know what I mean? What's next? So you've got to prepare yourself for that. You got to have a plan B, a plan C. Even, you know what? There's people out there and artistas that have, I would say, even the 1% of artistas have planned for the future. So before you even get there, guys, do a lot of research. Make sure that you have that 110% confidence in yourself that you want to pursue it. My next thought is try and get to know other celebrities, but even better, other directors or producers, because they will give you the opportunity if you're not scouted out. Because sometimes, I would say sometimes, it all comes down to who you know or who you've met.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know what, I don't think I would be in showbiz if it wasn't for that time where I did that service project or relief project with Vice Ganda. If I made that choice not to go, then who knows, later down the track I would meet Vice, or I would be guested on Showtime. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I made that decision. We don't know. We don't know that. We don't know what the future holds. But sometimes, if you're sometimes guided by following instinct, following the spirit, following your heart, and making these small decisions, very small decisions, you never know, that might be the biggest decision that you have ever made in your life. And that decision to go to that relief project, because my heart was in the right place. I didn't even know that Vice was going to be there. I was there to help, and it's in our blood, Greg, as a missionary, to put our our best step forward. You know what I mean? And try to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And try and help. And then I never knew that from then, that day and there, that Vice would actually invite me over to go and guest on Showtime as a jurado. And the rest was history. So I'm trying to say this is because you don't know the small decisions that you make are very, very vital. You never know that if you go to some casting and the brands don't get you, but you met someone there. Maybe the caster or the producer of the show says, hindi ka bagay dito sa show nito, pero may idea para sa'yo. I have another show for you. You know what I mean? So always try your best to stay ready. Don't slack off. It's just like fitness and training. I wouldn't get this body right now, you know, I mean, right now, or I wouldn't be the Eruption right now if it wasn't for those small decisions that I made to stay ready. Because you might get a call, hey, Eruption, you got a photo shoot for Men's Health magazine next week. And you go, frick, am I ready? Am I ready?
It better be.
Better be, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. Do your best to put yourself into the situation where you can be scouted. I think it's very, very important to stay relevant on social media. Work on your social media as well, whether it be whatever content that you need to do, because it's also a big help. You never know, one of your videos might go viral, and there, makikita ka ng isang director, makikita ka ng isang producer, or whoever, and they'll say, frick, this guy is good, or this girl is super ganda. How come we didn't see her or him before? Right. That's your time. That's your time. Take it.
That's amazing. That's great advice. Thank you so much for all of that great advice. I think I can personally relate with most of what you said. You're absolutely right. It is a crazy industry, very dirty, and you need to be really focused and sort of keep your eyes on the prize. I really, really appreciate you coming onto my channel, man, and doing this interview.
Thank you, bro.
It is a major privilege. I would now like to invite you to, you know, plug anything that you'd like, channels or products or anything that you want. The time is yours.
All right. First and lastly, once again, I want to say thank you, Greg, man. Appreciate it for also, you know, guesting me. Speaking of YouTube, I do have a channel. It's ERUPTION Thai. We just started, guys. We just started this year, 2021, and it's one of my goals, actually, one of my short-term goals, and also long-term goals is to really focus on YouTube. At the same time, I do have a page on Facebook where I go live almost daily around 9 to 10 a.m. Where I play games. I share whatever I want to share, and I enjoy that job. It actually doesn't feel like a job. Having said that, it feels like I'm just playing games and having fun with the people that follow me, with those that do know me or don't yet know me. It'll be good to see you on the stream. Other than that, yep, Instagram, it's ERUPTION Thai or ERUPTION23. You can find us on all our social media accounts, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook and YouTube. And there you have it, guys. So thank you for your time, everyone. I appreciate it. Please do follow us, and more surprises ahead that I want to say, but I can't yet. But yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Hawkins.
Well, thank you again. I will make sure to link those different profiles and such in the description box below. Everybody, if you could please do us both a favor and visit ERUPTION's profiles, his Twitch streams, his Facebook gaming, his Instagram, everything. I'll make sure it's all linked in the description box below, so please check that out. Again, one last time, thank you, Mr. Thai.
Thank you, bro.
It's an honor, and I will hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, man. I know we don't keep in contact as much as we want to, because I know we're both busy, but the fact that, you know, we can just talk to each other like nothing ever happened. You know, brothers for life, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.